Good morning. Good morning. It's been a long time since I made a video. You can see my hair is getting long. I got a little bit of dirt on my face here, but we're back after a long 7 weeks. 7 weeks. If you guys didn't know, I was training for a work from home job. I actually had to train in the office for 7 weeks for a financial services position, work from home, that works around my trading schedule, because it just wasn't working out. Past January and Q4 of 2022, I just kind of, the profit started to dry up. Wasn't making as much. And what I thought, when I did quit my job back in May, what I thought was, I'm making enough money to live on, and I think it's only going to get bigger from here. I'm going to go from a few thousand a month to 10,000 a month to 20,000 a month, and it's just going to be going up, up, and up, and up. And it's just going to be a nice linear curve to success. But didn't work out like that. And, think in hindsight, it's a little bit naive to think that it would just be such an easy straight shot straight to success. But we did run into a little bit of a bumpy patch, a little roadblock here in Q4 of 2022. Had to get another job to kind of hold me over. Then I had a huge move in January, moved across state lines. So that was also a big change. And then arriving in my new residence, I had to figure out some sort of other income source other than trading, because trading was not working out. It's still, very, very tough to make consistent profits in the market. So got another job, something that's obviously a little bit more sustainable. In Q4 2022, I was working at Macy's, checking out people at the cash register. That was not fun, really grueling, just beyond boring, and just wasn't very sustainable. It was like, A, you didn't really make enough, and two, I was on my feet for 8 hours a day. And of course, I gotta work the overtime. I'm only making like $15 an hour. I gotta put in some overtime just so I can make ends meet. And that just kind of burnt me out. Pretty much from working all those hours trying to make ends meet down in Miami. Freaking cost of living down there is insane. But since then I have moved and got a more sustainable job, something that's sort of related to my interests here in finance. Got a job in financial services, which is nice. I get to learn a little bit about the finance industry, and it's much more sustainable. I'm not on my feet all the time, and I get to sit down and work on a computer, which is kind of a luxury. I'm used to always being on my feet doing manual labor, and that type of work can definitely burn you out. That's why, actually, fun fact, in my history since I was 15 and a half or 16, I've had a job. But I've always jumped from job to job like every 6 months, because all the jobs are like manual labor, restaurant work, something that I'm always on my feet. And I would just burn out within 6 months, and I would have to get another job just to kind of reinvigorize my motivation to work. So this is my first real kind of sit down job, work on a computer, office type of work, and it feels good. It's kind of like a luxury, and I feel like that type of work I can actually have a sustainable, I wouldn't say career, but have a sustainable job to where I can actually stay at and not get burnt out, and actually get that consistent paycheck until trading starts to pick up again. Maybe I create something to replace that 9 to 5 that I have currently, so that I don't have to sacrifice that 40 hours a week to make that consistent paycheck. That's sort of the vision that I've had. And, I'm still going forward, not going to give up, and got to do what I got to do to make the ends meet for now until I have the experience and education necessary to create other sources of income through trading. Trading is my heart. Trading is my baby. This is what I'm going to do for a long, long time. I'm thinking like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years until I don't even want to retire. I would just want to do this. I wouldn't want to retire at 65 and never trade again. I would want to do this until I can't, until my hands no longer stop working or my eyesight goes bad. That's how much love I feel for this as of right now. This is just, and that hasn't gone away. I've been doing this for now almost 3 years. Daily trading. The first 2 years, I've been really pedal to the metal. I was studying 24/7, always looking at charts, always studying my trades, always watching the market, every single minute of downtime. After 2 years of that, then I started, last year I started to kind of coast a little bit on my experience and my education, and then kind of just focusing on my psychology instead of trying to learn the market patterns, which, I'm always putting time into that, but it's not as much because once you kind of learn the fundamentals of trading, then you can kind of shift your focus more so on emotional management and psychology and position sizing, which is kind of what I'm working on mostly now. But yeah, after 3 years, I'm still in love with this. If I wasn't in love with this, I would have given up after month 6, after 1 year. A lot of people do because they found out they don't really love it. They were just in love with the idea that they can make a lot of money fast. But, in the beginning, I kind of actually was. I'm not going to lie, I actually was kind of in love with the idea that, wow, I can make some money fast. But, after realizing it's going to take me maybe 5, 6, 7, 10 years to actually make that money fast, I had to kind of reassess my ideas of what it takes to be successful. Actually, not only in this, but in anything. It's going to take 5 or 6, 7 years or 10 years anyways, even if you're working at a job, to make that, to work your way to that 6 figures or 200K salary or even more than that. It's going to take 7, 10 years anyways, or even longer, because you got to wait for someone to actually promote you. It's what the hell? Why not just do trading? I love it anyways. And I gotta put 10 years into something. Might as well put it into something that I love. And eventually, I have no doubts that this will provide sufficient income to live on. So might as well, put it into this and not into somebody else's business, or wasting 40 hours a week working for somebody else, which I'm sure is the same mindset with anyone else who goes into trading. The reason they do this is because they like that independence, and they like being an entrepreneur and working for themselves, and they don't like the idea of working for a certain amount of years and then retiring at a certain time. We all have the same mindset. We all have the same goals, and that's actually what's awesome about trading is everyone that you meet in this realm is literally compatible with what you believe about how you should live a good life. So, it's really easy to make friends actually with other traders because we have so much in common. We're literally spitting images of each other, and we just look different. And that's pretty much the best way to describe it, because there's only one type of person that gets into trading. There really is. Trading is definitely not for everyone. It's for a very sliver percentage of people. And that sliver percentage of people are so similar to each other that whenever you meet somebody else in trading, it's like, wow, like that's what I was trying to tell everyone, in high school, in college, and like everyone would look at me like I had 8 eyes. But now I'm looking, at this community of trading, and like everyone has the same goals and the same ideas about what to choose as a career path and how to spend your time living a good life, and not spending so much time to like earn like a measly paycheck after sacrificing X amount of years to only be restricted to retiring at 65, or only not being paid what you're worth. But yeah, anyways, I kind of rambled on a little bit too long there. So let's get into the trade. So 7 weeks. 7 weeks of trading pre-market only, because I would actually have to go in the office to train for this job. So now the training is over. Yesterday was my first day trading the open. And it actually couldn't have worked out a little better, because the 7 weeks that I was in office, the market wasn't really that hot. We had a few days where there was a nice pre-market gapper. And actually on those days, I think it was this day, the 10th, the 28th, and the 9th, I actually stayed till like 9:32, because I calculated that if I can leave this chair at 9:32 and drive all the way to the office and not hitting any red lights and not hitting any traffic, I could make it there at 10 o'clock. So I timed it out, and I could stay here in this chair till 9:32. So on those days, I stayed until 9:32, booked like 1 or 2 trades, 1 or 2 scalps, made my money for the day, put on my shoes, and ran out the door. And on those days, it was actually worth it. Those 2 minutes, I had made $74. On this day, I made $175. And I think I had another one, maybe in here. I think it was on the 15th. I actually had a red day. So that didn't work out. But because, I had to be out the door, I just kind of took the red trade and left. Didn't want to fight for it, because, I had other things going on. But yeah, and here on the 10th, I had a nice $89 day. So all these other days, I traded only pre-market, and you can see like I didn't have any good solid green days. And this was after the 7th. From the 7th to the 22nd, I was doing pre-market only. So my pre-market stats were not that good. Really, definitely shows to me that I am most skillful in scalping. And that's sort of where my skills lie. And unless it's like a really hot market, I'm going to make most of my money just naturally as a scalper. Is going to be at the most volatile time of the day, and that is at 9:30. And there's just no other way around it, unless I want to, develop a side of my strategy where I can hold maybe for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then maybe up to 30 minutes. Which, I might have to start thinking about doing that after I really perfect this strategy here, this scalping strategy. It's always good to focus on one strategy, perfect it as much as possible, and then you can think about, branching off and doing other things and perfecting other strategies, rather than trying to do everything at once, because then you'll be, as they say, the master of none. And with trading, you got to be the master of at least one thing, and because that's all you need to actually make decent money in the market. Really, all I need is to trade at the open and to be a really, really, really good scalper, and I can make a few thousand a day, and that's plenty enough to live a good life, plenty enough. And then obviously if I want to branch off and learn to master other strategies to kind of boost up my skill set, then that would be good as well. But that would be more of a secondary thing after mastering my go-to strategy, which is scalping at 9:30. So, I mean, really, I do have some green trades here pre-market, which, you know, it is worth it to get up at 7 a.m. Eastern time every day and take a look at the market. And maybe place a few trades, because you never know when the market is going to switch hot. And on those days, I can actually, on really hot pre-market days, I can start off the day with a few $100s in my pocket if the market is really hot. You know, it's happened before, and you never really know when the hot market is going to come back. You could just wake up one day at 7 a.m. and there's going to be a 200% gapper, like that's happened before. And then it really starts to bring that wave of volume back into the market. And also another thing that's really highly underrated is by waking up at 7 a.m. or getting on the computer around 7:30 or way before the market open, you actually have time to kind of assess the momentum in the market. Are we more bullish? Are we more bearish? Do you think we're going to actually hold the highs and rip higher? Or is it sort of a market that's going to pop and then it's going to drop? And it kind of gives you a sort of perspective on what might happen at the open. And it also gives you sort of price action. Watching the price action pre-market kind of gives you sort of perspective of how the stock may act at the open. So, I always found that it was good, for me just to watch the price action pre-market at least, just to prepare myself for the open. I never really felt as comfortable or as confident if I just came in at 9:15 or even 9 a.m. and just started, getting ready for the open, because it felt like I had no perspective on the market momentum or market sentiment. So the market sentiment is really highly underrated. Market sentiment is really highly underrated to kind of figure out, and why that you should actually wake up earlier so you can understand the sentiment and be prepared for the open. And potentially, are these stocks geared up to run 100% or 200% or more at the open, or is it geared up to maybe pop up 10 cents and you got to take your profits before you get dumped on? You can kind of sense what kind of market we're in if you can get some sort of experience looking at pre-market before trading the open. So that's that. Pre-market, not too good, but that's okay. I don't need to be a really good pre-market trader to make money. I really just need to be a master of the strategy that suits me best. And this just confirms what I thought the whole time, that my skills lie where I thought they did. And my statistics from 9:30 to 10:30 are the best performing for my strategy. So let's take a look. So the February 7th, 2023. By the way, if you guys are wondering what this is a trade journal. This thing is the best deal on the market. This trading journaling platform, the best deal on the market, completely free, unlimited uploads, and you can get involved with the community. You can see what other traders are trading, how they did on the day. You can get involved in the chat rooms, and that's where actually I am active every single day. So you guys can get to know other traders in the community and provide value to the community. You guys can learn from us. There's much more experienced traders than me in the community to learn from. I'm learning from a lot of people in the community, so definitely take a look at that. The link will be in the description to sign up for Trade Journal. You can just click on that link and sign up, and you can use this platform for free. The standard platform that everyone likes to use, probably because all the big traders like to use it, is TraderView. But if you're trying to save that $30 a month, especially when you're starting trading, like maybe you're only making $30 in a month and you don't want to spend that on your platform fees or your journaling fees, then jump over to Trade Journal. This thing is completely free. It pretty much offers the exact same thing. And you don't even got to put in your credit card or your debit card to sign up. There's no like free trial for like 7 weeks and then or 7 days, and then it's gonna bill you on the 8th day. None of that none of that bull crap. So this is the real deal. This is the real deal. No scams. Not trying to reel you into a yearly membership after a 7-day free trial. But anyways, so this is since I was in training 7 weeks. So I made $400 in 7 weeks. I mean, $400, okay. Like, at least I'm profitable. I have a decent profit margin. My average win, my average loss. But this is also going to be offset by those couple days that I actually traded at 9:30. So I'm going to have to weed those out. My accuracy, pretty decent. My really good days, I'm over 60%. But, this is decent. This is pretty good. Largest winner is double my... my largest winner is 2x my largest loser. Yeah, so, pretty decent stats. Let's weed out those. Let's weed out those open trades. So I'm just going to take a look at and divide this by time in the day. And I have to reset this here. Okay, so looking at the time here, so at 7 a.m. I'm green, 8 a.m. I'm green. So, it still is worth it for me to wake up, like I said, because I am profitable in these times. I'm just not extremely profitable, and maybe I'll be a little bit more profitable when I do size up, but still, like, profit margin-wise, percentage-wise, my best is right at 9. My best is right at 9:30. So this is between 9 and 10. So actually, it's not 255 at 9. It's probably going to be, right around between 50 and 90. So, pre-market, I'm green, and that's kind of all I was wanting to look at. Like, am I actually green pre-market? Like, because there has been times, like stretches where I was actually red pre-market, and it was actually not serving me well to actually waking up at 7 a.m. But after, doing this for 7 weeks, it still is worth it for me to wake up at 7 a.m., play some trades, just to try to get a cushion on the day before the open. And if I have a nice cushion, then it kind of allow me to take a little bit more risk at 9:30 and try to shoot for that home run day. My goal is to get that to that 1K day. Man, when I get that 1K day, I'm going to definitely celebrate for sure. That's a huge accomplishment. But to get to that first 1K day, I have to be willing to be $300 or $400 on the day, and I have to be willing to go back to flat. I have to risk that $300. I have to risk that $400 to try to get to that 1K day. There's no other way around it. And it also has to be the right market. I have to be aware of market sentiment, and that has to be the right market. And then put the pedal to the metal. I have one good trade that I'm up 300, 400 on the day. And then I have to be willing to take another solid trade and not size down after I'm 300 and 400 on the day. Because I notice sometimes I'll be 300 to 400 on the day. I'm like, wow, this is a nice day. Let's size down and let's maybe see if we can add a little bit of profits. But for the most part, I'm pretty much finished. Instead, I want to keep that position size, maybe even position size more, risk that $300, risk going back flat for trying to get to that 1K mark. And there's no other way to do it. And the first time that does happen, that I make to that 1K day, it's going to be like, wow, okay, I've done this once, I can do it again. So I shouldn't shy away at being up $300 and I shouldn't size down after I'm up that much, because really it's all perspective. Like, that's similar to where I am now. Like, let's take off a 0, and if I'm trying to get to 100 a day and I'm up $30, it's like, okay, I'm up $30, whatever. Like, I can risk that $30 to get up to 100. Like, I'm not worried at all. It's the same perspective. It's the same thing, just on a different factor. It's on a different ratio. So that's sort of kind of how you have to look at it, to not be attached to that $300 and being like, wow, I'm up $300. Let's be grateful. Let's walk away when the market is hot. Because on those days, you can't walk away too soon, because you could be leaving way too much money on the table. And, I just finished watching Ross's video of the 25 rule. You should go check that out. That I am not endorsing or getting paid by Ross to say this, but it's a very good video. Like, it's a very insightful video. And he was saying that 5% of our days is 20% of our profits. And that day that you walk away early, let's say, at 10 or 10:15, and you're wrapping it up, and it's a really hot day, and the stock's going a few 100%, and you're walking away at 10:15, you could be leaving that 20% of your yearly profit on the table. You could be having that 20% day, or that 10% day of your yearly profit, and you're walking away with 1 or 2%, because you want to be grateful for either your small gains, or you want to just be grateful that you're green, or if you're coming off like a drawdown and you don't want to go back red, or if just in general you just don't want to take that risk. But if the market is hot, you got to be willing to put the pedal to the metal, because you don't want to leave that money on the table, and it could really change your statistics by the end of the year. And those days don't come very often. They're not every single day. There's only going to be like he said, 5% of the trading days are going to be 20%. So, you don't want to be passing up on one of those 5% days. So, you never really know when that day is going to come too. So, always got to be ready and prepared. So, that's pretty much it. It's coming to a very long video, but I wanted to make it a little bit longer because it's been 7 weeks or over a month since I made a video. So, it's good to be back to trading the open. Definitely feels good, but the market right now is a little slow. I took a couple trades yesterday at the open, but kept it very small because of just the market sentiment. It's been very weak. But I'm still showing up at 7 a.m. every single day, and you never know when you're going to get that 100%, 200% mover that brings that volume back in, and then you will be ready to take the bull by the horns. So just going to keep tracking along here, getting back into that routine, trading the open. It feels great to be back. Setting up a nice routine to fit in some time to make recaps for probably only going to make recaps for the days that are really active, or that I do take enough trades. If I'm only going to take 1 or 2 trades a day, and I'm going to be pretty much around flat, then it's really not worth it for me to make a video unless it's something important. So I probably won't make videos for that. But for days that are a little bit more active and I do take more trades, then I will make a recap, whether if I'm red or if I'm green. I like to make make recaps. I'm not the type of person that's only going to make recaps when I'm green and not make recaps when I'm red. I'm always making recaps and being transparent about where I sit on the day, because it's good for my growth. It's good for the people who are watching, who are just getting into this or they want to learn. It's good to see other people. Not everyone is green every single day, and I know there's a lot of people out there who only show the green, and I'm not going to be like that, because I like being able to relate to other people who are also struggling, who also is transparent about the struggles of being a day trader, because that's what it's like. You don't want to have a wrong picture of what this career is like, and you're going to lose money every now and then, or for some people the majority of days, depending on your win-loss ratio. And that's something you have to be comfortable with, and that's something that actually can be useful to learn from. And just even me, making a recap about a red day helps me learn as well. So I'm gonna make recaps for the days that I'm more active trading. But yeah, if I'm only making 1 or 2 trades, not going to make a recap. Probably wouldn't be worth it unless it's something important. So yeah, making that adjustment back into my other routine, so it feels good. So thank you guys for watching. I know it's been a little bit of a longer one, but if you were sticking around for this, you are the OG. Thank you for watching, and I guess I'll see you guys on the next video. So thanks for tuning in. Check out the links in the description. Like the video. Also subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber. See you guys later. Peace.